So I took 2 years off. So
Yeah.
2022 was my last show. And I wanted to take a little bit of time off to hopefully bring a better physique, and I think I've achieved that. Categories that I'm doing today will be fitness, physique, and I'm doing classic as well.
Ooh, how do you feel about doing classic?
Um, I'm not sure yet, so this is the first time doing classic. I'll see how I get on. I think I could have a little bit more size. I could be just a little bit bigger for classic,
Yeah.
but I'm doing for the fun of it. I think it's quite different to the men's physique and the fitness model category. So classic is going to be just a little bit different and fun to do.
And obviously with doing different categories, how has prep been a lot different this time?
Not necessarily. I think it has been quite smooth, I want to say. And this, compared to all of the other preps, I think this has been like the most successful one. The one that, it hasn't had any mishaps. And, it was quite smooth. And
Yeah.
I think I peaked at the right time, which was quite enjoyable.
So mishaps, what mishaps have you had in the past, or is it just not felt as smooth as this one has?
Yeah, and probably like being ill or taking on too much, being too busy at work, starting too early, starting too late, doing cardio too late, not doing cardio at all. So all sorts of, I've tested things over time, and I think this one, I'd really nailed it.
And what is it you do for work, and how do you juggle work and training and all that kind of thing?
So I work as a PT. I work in a gym. I've got face-to-face clients as well. And I think to a degree that helps with me being active, because by the end of the day, I usually get about 12,000 steps. So that definitely helped the prep process. And I think in the past, I probably would have, alongside prepping for a competition, I would probably take on too many clients. So I needed to factor the fact that I'm getting ready for a competition in as well, and just pace it out a little bit better.
And how have you juggled that? Like, obviously, if you've got your set clients, you've got set times, and working your meals around that, has it been difficult, hard, or easy?
It's been quite easy, to be fair. I've set very rigid time slots, so I know that this is where when I'm working, and I've got in between to do everything else. So as long as I prep in advance and I know what I'm doing, I used to do my preps on Sunday once, and maybe midweek for the second part of the week, and that has been working really well. I'm rigid and to a degree pretty strict with clients and timings and stuff like that, and they seem to be very understanding as well, because they know what I'm doing and they know that I'm getting ready for a competition.
Yeah. And obviously being a PT, a lot of people in the industry know what it's like. Have you got any like friends and family outside of competing, and what do they think of it?
Yes.
I always love this question.
Many of them don't really understand what it's about. I think people expect, because you lift weights in the gym, they ask me, what do you have to do? Do you have to lift weights on stage, or do you have to... Well, no, not really. You just
They think it's a strongman competition or something.
Yes, kind of. So you get ready for the competition, and on the day you have to lift weights and, I don't know, perform acrobatics or whatever it is. But no. Some of them know what the competition is about. Some of them don't. So that's why I always try to explain it to them in the best way possible, as in, this is a competition that you train for beforehand. On the day, you just have to show off what you've done throughout the prep.
Yeah. And having competed previously, what would you give advice to yourself, like your past self, that you currently know now, having been through sort of preps before? What advice would you give to you?
Oh, good question. I think be more confident, go into a competition without setting any expectations, and just enjoy the day.
Yeah.
Because I think in the past, it was after the first show where I won my category, and I was super confident, and my expectations kind of went through the roof. And for my second competition, I didn't place at all. And I was very, very disappointed. I was like, how dare they? How do I not?
Don't you know I placed before? Why didn't I place this time?
I was first, so I have to place now. No, I think definitely do my absolute best, and don't have any expectations for show day, because I think obviously with this, you have to put in the work beforehand, and on the day obviously just show off and be confident and enjoy the day.
Yeah. We all obviously know that prep can be hard. Like, when you hit those hurdles or those walls, is there anything that motivates you to keep going?
standing on stage in a small pair of pants, I think, is very
That's some people's worst nightmare.
Yeah. No, I think having like a goal like this kind of adds that layer of accountability that you need. So I never really, I think anybody going into a show and getting ready for a competition has to have a certain level of discipline. So if you go into it, you have to be very disciplined and rely maybe just a little bit less on motivation.
Yeah. It's about ultimately, I guess, showing off your physique at the end of it in small pants.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, small pair of pants and show off.
Yeah. And obviously we've asked about what you do differently and things from previous preps. Is there any advice that you'd give to any newbies about competition, prep, anything like that?
Yes. Make sure that, I would say, for my first competition, I got a coach and he wasn't very good. Yeah. Make sure that you get the right coach that knows his stuff.
I always like this question. People say this. What kind of things should they be looking for in a coach?
It probably depends on what the coach does and who they prep for competition. So to give you an example, I think if you're going to do a show like Pure Elite, I think it would be wise to choose someone who has done the Pure Elite before and preps people for competitions of this type, as opposed to someone who preps people for bodybuilding competitions. I don't think there is a massive crossover, obviously, but I think it does help if someone has experience with this type of shows, because they're going to know what you need, what the end results need to look like. Other than that, definitely get a good, knowledgeable coach that ideally has done this before, and make sure that you listen to everything that they say, because that's why you pay them and that's why you go with them. Anything else? Don't set any expectations for yourself, and remember that the work that you have to do, you do it beforehand, and whoever shows up on the day, that is out of your control.
Well, that's a great answer.
Thank you very much.
Well, one of my last few questions is this or that, which is always fun.
Okay.
So, pizza or burgers?
Burgers, definitely.
Donuts or Haribo?
Donuts.
Yeah. I often go for cookies and donuts, but no. Okay. I thought it's a mix.
Yeah, definitely donuts. I'm not the biggest fan of like very sugary sweets. Yeah, donuts.
Yeah. What other ones? Because these bits will get jumbled up. What other this or that ones can you think of?
Pastries or
sausage rolls or pastries?
Yes. That's a good one. It depends on the mood. I think I would go with sausage rolls. Yeah. But I think it depends on the pastry as well. If it's like a pistachio croissant, I'll probably go for a pistachio croissant. You want your sausage roll on top? I'll have both, please.
Is there anything else that you'd like to add, or let us know your social media handles?
John Tamas Training is my social media handle on Instagram. No, that's it. I think that's it.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.